Recently, an insider gave details about the sister-wives star Garrison Brown's funeral. Additionally, they provide information about how the Brown family is coping after the heavy burden of burying a loved one unexpectedly. Sadly, the estranged Brown family came together for something ultimately more important than any division they currently have. On March 9, the entire Brown clan met in Flagstaff, Arizona, under extremely difficult circumstances. Notably, to honor Garrison Brown, the family gathered to say one last goodbye before laying him to rest. Kody and Janelle's son passed away at age 25 at his own hand. According to an In Touch source, it was a private funeral for family only. Furthermore, the source told the publication everyone was hugging and tearing up. While they were together to celebrate Garrison Brown's life, it was a very hard day, and they discussed how the family was working through the devastating loss, saying it was the hardest thing any of them have ever had to do, but sharing stories about Garrison helped them get through it. Undeniably, the Browns are facing a great deal of turmoil. Before Garrison's death, the plural marriage unraveled and trickled down throughout the entire family, causing division. Particularly, Kody Brown and his sons, Garrison and Gabriel Brown, had a known rift over Kody's strict COVID-19 rules. While it is unclear if they ever made amends, it must weigh heavily on Kody's heart that he missed any time with his son over the dispute. Admittedly, Janelle Brown talks about Garrison Brown's mental health and how he was becoming angrier and sadder. However, it is hard to help a family member even when you see them increasingly beginning to spiral downward. In a reflection, she notes, he was not as happy-go-lucky. But Janelle became alarmed with strange group texts. Garrison sent messages to several people who had worked with the family. Likewise, Garrison said, "I want to hate you for sharing the good times, but I can't." Then he shares, "I miss these days." When news got back to his mom, Janelle Brown, she intuitively knew something might be wrong. Following that, she sent Garrison's brother, Gabriel Brown, to check up on him, although his efforts weren't in time to help Garrison, who he found dead. Additionally, the source says, everyone hopes Garrison's found the peace that seemed to elude him in life. Furthermore, they discuss the family and how they are navigating this gut-wrenching situation, saying, while they're all still numb with grief, they know he would be happy seeing the family reunited. Garrison Brown's cousin Emma also gave insights into the sad occasion. In an Instagram post, she says, "I had to dress up for your funeral today, and this is everything I wish you could have heard before I had to say goodbye." But her love is evident, saying, "We love you. I don't even own a picture of you without your contagious smile. I don't know if I have the right words to say I'll miss you." Unmistakably, wishing she could see Garrison, she gave heartfelt sentiments about her relationship with him. Emma continues, "I wish I was able to give you a hug and tell you how much you were loved. You were human, you had flaws, but never once did I doubt the friendship we had." Undoubtedly, this is a hard time in the Brown family's lives as they try to find some semblance of normal. Are you wanting to see more about the lives of the Sister Wives stars? Drop your comments below. However, Sister Wives parents Kody and Janelle Brown lost their son, Garrison Brown, and it seems like the show should end. While scenes featuring reactions to Garrison's death were reportedly already filmed, to be shown in Season 19, watching that unfold on screen will be wrenching. It's far beyond the usual reality TV drama. It's as serious and awful as anything can be. While reality viewers thrive on emotional fireworks, this is just sad. It's a waking nightmare. Seeing grief that raw and unfiltered will hurt, but the pain of watching is nothing compared to what the Brown family members are going through. Should that pain be captured on screen? As long as the Sister Wives cast members give their consent, it will be. However, it may feel like a violation to watch. Some things are so bad that they don't fit in any of the typical categories. This is one of those things. It's not a failed romance or turbulent marriage. It's not some mother-in-law drama or jealousy or money problems. It isn't petty infighting. It's the death of a wonderful person who was always, as per his friend Kenya Gutierrez's recent comment to the US Weekly, a person you wanted to see, and he'd always say hello to you. His presence was being gracious. However, Robin Williams, a fantastically talented actor with exceptional range, took his own life. A British mathematician named Alan Turing used his genius to break Nazi codes. He helped Allied forces to defeat their enemy during World War II and sadly committed suicide. Every person's gifted and important in their own way, and Garrison meant the world to his family. In particular, his primary caregiver, Janelle Brown, was devoted to her son. Some kids may thrive in the spotlight, but Garrison seemed to dislike it. In a text, he complained about the good times being filmed. Therefore, he probably hated it when the bad times were filmed, as they were in the tense and emotional discussion shown above. Garrison had military dreams. He wanted to join the National Guard, but as Kody pointed out, members of that military group can be deployed and potentially lose their lives in combat. Kody wanted his son to get a college degree and then enlist. He felt his son would be safer in combat if he was an officer rather than Private Bob. He asked his son to finish his education first, but that wasn't what Garrison wanted. When Garrison was 17, he joined the Nevada Army National Guard. He also enrolled in the College of Southern Nevada. In the scene shown above, Kody did show love for his son, although he's now depicted as an uncaring father, perhaps unfairly. In the discussion about college, Janelle agreed with her then-husband. Kody's often painted as a villain, and in this instance, he was called out even though he seemed concerned that his son would be killed in combat if he was deployed as a private rather than an officer. This scene is intimate, personal, and intense. It's perhaps something that should be between two parents and their child, rather than being fodder for drama-hungry audiences. Garrison had to talk about his goals, dreams, and wishes, and basically be criticized for choosing a path. However, that's what a young man is supposed to do. Garrison may have felt thwarted and humiliated, and having it broadcast probably made those feelings more powerful and hurtful. His parents would not agree to his plans, but their motive wasn't to hurt their son. In fact, they wanted to keep him alive and well. Things get twisted a lot, but Kody showed love in this scene. He wasn't being mean, he was worried. At other times, it's easy to scoff at Kody, such as when he calls his non-Robyn wives princesses. However, in this case, there was none of that arrogance. Maybe Kody shouldn't have glibly referred to Private Bob during the chat. That didn't come off well, but his intention wasn't to emotionally wound his son. He was worried about Garrison being wounded. So while Kody deserves criticism, this particular scene may be misinterpreted. Kody is Garrison's father, and he's trying to be a good dad while a camera crew follows him around. It's hard enough to play that role when no one is watching. Reality TV puts its participants under terrible pressure. Social media can be a cesspool where people take out their aggression on celebrities. Whether critics hide behind fake names or not, they can hurt the people who appear in these shows. Few reality stars have gotten more shade than Kody, but to paint him as responsible for a suicide is irresponsible. No one deserves that blame. Perhaps Garrison acted impulsively in the heat of the moment. Sister wives' kids didn't sign up for reality fame. Since there are still younger children in the family, ending the show might be the best way to protect them from the stressors that may have acted on Garrison. He felt like he had to compete on social media but couldn't measure up. However, he was a sweet person who rescued a cat from euthanasia. Garrison loved his family and friends. If Sister Wives continues, the cast members won't be the same. Viewers may feel a surge of sympathy that leads to less criticism online. That would be a best-case scenario. No one's as bad as Kody's made out to be. No one in the cast is truly evil. No, not even SOBBIN Robyn. However, the odds are that the family will continue getting shade because they are major celebrities, and other Brown kids may not enjoy any of that. Although the Browns are grieving the unthinkable loss of Garrison Brown, in many ways their world has stood still. However, amid the tragic loss, some fans believe Kody and Robyn Brown may be poised for divorce. Currently, ideas are circulating of cracks in the foundation of Kody and Robyn's relationship. Furthermore, they think those cracks are waiting to crumble the entire marriage. However, some Sister Wives viewers think that Robyn is strategically holding off until the 10-year mark to pull the plug. While the news of Garrison Brown has been earth-shattering for the entire Brown family, it has also brought out feelings in the Sister Wives community. Seemingly, the Browns' world stopped with the surreal death of Garrison. However, many of the family members express they are picking up the pieces. Additionally, they are continuing to move forward despite the devastating tragedy. Likewise, fans are also trying to find a way through the loss, and grief looks different for everyone. At times, it requires distractions to allow people to fully cope. On Reddit, a Sister Wives viewer brought up a topic about Kody and Robyn Brown, perhaps in an effort to think of something different. Albeit difficult to discuss the Browns while they are enduring the unfathomable loss, some fans resolved to return to normalcy. One Reddit user brings up a discussion about Kody and Robyn Brown's marriage. They say K and R being legally married 10 years this December. Then they kick off the conversation with, does anyone else think SOBBIN is going to kick him to the curb once the 10-year marriage mark is fulfilled in a community property state, AZ, in December, and she has her name on so much real estate? Furthermore, the Sister Wives viewer talks about Robyn seemingly laying the groundwork to introduce their divorce, noting that Robyn says, he's been unpleasant, picking fights, and being horrid since C left on him on film. Several Sister Wives fans gave their thoughts on Robyn Brown being in a holding pattern until the 10-year mark arrives. Additionally, at the 10-year mark, ex-spouses have more rights to their past partner's benefits. Seemingly, if Robyn Brown were considering divorce, there would be significant reasons to stay for at least 10 years. According to CNBC, David Freytag, a financial planning consultant and Social Security expert at MassMutual, there are significant benefits to waiting for divorce until they are in a marriage for 10 years. However, Christine Brown politely tells Sister Wives fans why she's using social media despite the recent family tragedy. In March 2024, the Brown family lost Robert Garrison Brown. Kody and Janelle Brown took to social media to remember their son and asked fans to respect their private lives during such a tragic time. Christine shared some sweet posts remembering Garrison because he was also her son. She posted memories talking about how incredible of a big brother he was to Truly and the soul of the Brown family. Christine also made Garrison's favorite breakfast and shared the recipe with fans. Unfortunately, Christine received criticism for posting a promotional post about her mode-based heirloom in mid-March 2024. Critics called Christine out and told her it was too soon for her to do it. Recently, Christine took to social media to defend her actions. She made a response video politely telling fans why she still promoted her heirloom despite Garrison's passing. Christine explained, "I have to keep working," with tears in her eyes and a helpless smile. Christine added, "For me, working some of the times means posting on social media," clarifying that she have to post because that's life. Christine told fans that everyone in the family must keep moving forward even though dealing with Garrison's passing will never get easier. She said, "We're gonna miss him all the time, every single day for the rest of our lives." Christine asserted that her work includes sharing content on social media, and she'd have to do that regardless of her feelings. She also thanked fans who understood her. Christine told her loyal followers that their overwhelming support since Garrison's death meant so much to everyone in the family. Christine concluded, "Thank you from the bottom of my heart." Christine is right to defend herself from critics who feel she crossed the line. The mom of 6 isn't posting promotional posts out of joy. Instead, she's simply doing her work like most people would. A family death can be painful, but everyone has to return to their work regardless of how they feel. They must make a living even if they feel like mourning all day in bed. Just because Christine's work involves sharing content on social media doesn't make her any less than a person who returns to their regular job after losing a family member. Kody's other ex, Meri Brown, has also been using social media while missing Garrison. The same is true of many other family members. Everyone in the Brown family has numerous responsibilities. They've lost an important person but must move on despite how much it hurts. Critics shouldn't treat the Brown family any less just because they are part of a reality TV show. It's unfair to harshly judge the social media activities of Christine, Janelle, Meri, Kody, and Robyn because those actions may not necessarily reflect their true feelings. The Sister Wives cast members need support instead of judgment. However, the morality of attacking someone whose son recently passed away is sketchy to say the least. Kody shouldn't be blamed for the death of his son. But there are fans who think he didn't give Garrison enough love, attention, and support. Is this really true? Only careful examination of some hard facts will reveal the truth. During Sister Wives Season 18, Kody got shade from almost everyone, including Garrison. Was it fair to put all the family's problems on Kody? Some of his detractors think it's more than fair. Most of the remarks that Kody's getting right now are extremely negative. In fact, some are too inflammatory to share here. To do so would simply be spreading hate. People are really unleashing the anger and bitterness that they feel, and seemingly not caring how the patriarch feels. Garrison wouldn't want Kody to be attacked like this. Making sense of the general mood isn't that complicated. After all, Garrison criticized his father on screen, telling others that he was succeeding in life despite his father's disapproval. However, that doesn't mean that fans aren't going too far. Here's one example. This comment on Kody's post was really blistering. The last few posts are nothing but sadness and sorrow. Seems like the only thing you have going on in your life is misery. May God be a shining light in your heart. It's never too late to change. Other fans get their point across in a mocking way, painting Kody as a sort of clown. One of them expressed themselves on the same post, calling out Kody's poor knowledge of nutrition. That critic preferred to use satire to rip the patriarch apart, saying, "The man who told poor kids that ketchup was a vegetable." On another post, an unhappy Sister Wives viewer dissed the villain Kody for daring to show his face on Cameo. Of course, he posted about being on Cameo before his son passed away. The comment came afterward, with a detractor psychoanalyzing a patriarch who is currently deep in grief. Kody didn't want his son to join the army because he thought Garrison might get hurt or killed. However, the fan conveniently forgot that when they called him a narcissist. FYI, your cameos are inauthentic. Please seek counsel for your narcissism. These comments are probably enough to communicate what the vibes are right now. Bear in mind that Garrison was Kody's child. He held him as a baby, watched him take his first steps, and struggled to come to terms with the estrangement that sadly continued until his son passed away. Kody's got so much to contend with, and certain fans, including some trolls, are making sure that the process is as difficult as it can possibly be. Some fans may drag Kody just to vent. They may want attention. Trolls sometimes get noticed. However, there are other Sister Wives fans who truly believe that Kody failed his son Garrison. They think Kody was unkind to his son. They feel that Kody gave up on certain wives, now exes and children, because he was consumed with his love for Robyn. It's true that Kody really loves Robyn. He just lost it over the dainty brunette. This romance caused so much trouble, mostly because Kody was one of the world's most notorious polygamists. Kody was supposed to multiply his love, but when Robyn came onto the scene, he seemingly began dividing it instead. When it came to the non-Robyn wives, there simply wasn't enough love to go around. With the kids, it's a bit more complicated. Kody loved his son. Of course, he loved Garrison. However, like most parents, he tried to nudge his child in a certain direction. When Garrison wanted to join the National Guard, Kody tried to talk him out of it. Maybe Garrison hoped his dad would be proud instead. However, Kody was mostly concerned about his son's safety. He wanted him to get a college degree, so he would go into the military as an officer rather than a private. He thought that might minimize the risk of death or injury if he was deployed. That wasn't bad parenting. It just wasn't what Garrison wanted to hear. So in that instance, Kody was more or less a typical father. Who hasn't had similar disagreements with parents? It's basically par for the course. Garrison did feel like he didn't get the love he needed from his father, and sadly, other Brown children felt the same way. For example, Savannah Brown didn't even get a Christmas gift from Kody. He said he'd bring her one later. Kody's tangled with Peyton Brown, Wendling Brown, and other kids. Gabriel Brown also shared his pain over his emotional distance from his father. Fans who attack Kody right now should picture themselves with 18 kids. Would they be able to give all of them what they needed? No, of course not. The issue is that Kody puts so much pressure on the mothers. Janelle, Mary, and Christine often had to handle parenting stuff on their own. Garrison had problems, and not all of them were about Kody. His issues with his dad were part of the problem. However, he drank. Garrison had problems with an ex, and people around him felt that he was depressed. Kody didn't cause his child's death. However, there may have been times when he could have been a better father. However, that could be said about most dads. So fans should lay off Sister Wives Kody now. He's been fairly quiet, and no one knows how he's doing. He could be in a very dark place. However, Sister Wives has shown some epic highs and lows, and although Garrison Brown said he missed the old days, polygamy wasn't good for him. A lot of Brown kids have complained about plural marriage. They've rejected that relationship model, choosing monogamous romances instead. Garrison passed away on March 5, 2024, after taking his own life. He reportedly drank a lot and felt depressed. Issues with an ex were bothering him. While there were likely many reasons why he made the choice that left his family grieving, being the child of polygamists probably played a role. No one should be blamed for another person's suicide. That's just not fair, and nobody knows everything that was going through Garrison's mind before he chose suicide. However, the late Sister Wives star has commented on his upbringing, calling out his father. He has shared that he didn't really enjoy being filmed for the show. In a text that he sent to some production team members and relatives, Kody and Janelle weren't in that group chat. He said, "I should hate you for sharing the good times, but I can't. I miss those days." The Brown kids grew up on TV, and a lot of child stars have tragic stories. Fame at such a young age can be very damaging. It's too much too soon. Being followed by a camera crew puts a lot of pressure on kids as they mature and try to find themselves. Most kids don't have to grow up with the whole world watching their plural family. The Brown kids do. In particular, going through adolescence with a production team recording so many moments must be awful at times. Yes, there were probably good things about being so young and famous, but maybe the negatives outweigh the good things. Garrison fought with family members, including Gabrielle Brown, while they were being filmed. They were young, but they were really having a moment. Garrison would get angry sometimes and lash out at siblings. That isn't unusual in families. It would be weirder if it never happened. However, millions of people watched these heated arguments. They saw the Brown kids, including Garrison, get disciplined on screen. No, they weren't spanked or whatever, but they were told off. In the clip above, Garrison seemed to be the aggressor in an argument with Gabrielle. Kody and Janelle got mad at him. This isn't normal childhood. The cameras add a layer of complication to an already strange family situation. The Browns were openly polygamists in America, where a lot of people find that strange and even wrong. The show was meant to change their minds, but maybe it did the opposite. It showed just how dysfunctional a plural marriage can get. When there's one father, a bunch of kids, and 4 wives, it's like a royal court. Everyone wanted King Kody's time, and there was no way that he could please everyone. Since parenting 18 kids was an epic challenge for a father, Kody did drop the ball sometimes. He was very into Robyn, and that led to him spending more time with her and their children and less time with other kids. This dynamic was the direct result of polygamy. Kody chose a favorite. Maybe a person can really only be in love with one person at one time. That's why polygamists often have favorites. This put a lot of pressure on Janelle, Christine, and Mary Brown. They were left with the bulk of the parenting, especially during the pandemic, when the family's problems started to hit critical mass. Robyn got help from Kody as COVID-19 wreaked havoc, but the other wives were out of luck. They became single parents, and that created so much pressure. They didn't have a husband to turn to. Their kids resented the fact that Kody wasn't in their lives. At this point, Kody's favoritism was much more than a running joke. It became the catalyst for major changes in the Brown family. Christine began mulling over her exit. She wanted more from life than polygamy could give her. Christine wanted a real relationship. Janelle was understandably bitter. She had kids to look after who were openly voicing their grievances about Kody. Janelle's absentee husband expected her to solve all his problems by smoothing things over with the kids. Mary was mostly ignored, which is a form of punishment in and of itself.